Hey, this is Rick Kasalich, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, I wanted to go through the best hip pain exercises. And I'll get Donnelly to demonstrate the first one, then I'll end up going through in detail and also show you two more exercises that you need to do for your hip pain. Perfect, that ends up being the first one, foam rolling out the thigh. So what Donnelly is doing is rolling out from just below the hip to just above the knee. And with this, she's working on decreasing the tension in that thigh, because oftentimes there is excessive tension in the thigh that ends up leading to pulling on that hip joint and leading to hip pain. So with the sets, reps, time, and intensity, what I'm going to get Donnelly to do is one set, repetitions like 5 and up and down is one repetition. The intensity, she wants to feel like she's having a massage, that the muscles being worked and loosened up. And when it comes to time, smooth, controlled movement is what she's looking at doing. Great. That ends up being the first exercise to do when it comes to the best hip pain exercises to do. Now, then you move from that foam rolling one into the 90-90 hip flexor stretch. There we go, good. So Donnelly, she's, I'll just get you moved back a touch, okay. Starts off at 90-90, ankle, knee, hips at 90, and then the front leg, hip, knee, and ankle are at 90. Then she's gonna tighten up her abdominal area, tighten up her glutes, bringing her hips a little forward, and then that's going to end up leading to a stretch in the front of the thigh and in front of the hip. So what we've done here is with the foam rolling, we've decreased the tension in that thigh area, and that allows or lets this stretch be more effective in order to stretch out the front of the thigh and the front of the hip, decreasing how much pull is happening on that hip joint, decreasing the hip pain that you end up having. Now, when it comes to sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets 1, repetitions 2 on each side. So what I would recommend is alternating back and forth. If you just have one side that has hip pain, I still would recommend going to the other side because it ends up being a great preventative exercise that you can do. If you want to save time, just do it on one side. So you would stretch the one side, relax for a few seconds, and then go into the stretch again. So sets, reps, we're now looking at time. We're looking at holding it for 20 seconds, each of the stretches, and then intensity, we're looking for a light stretch. Front of the thigh might end up being front of the hip. Now moving on to the third exercise, it ends up being back arch with leg behind. Good, so Donnelly's taking one leg back, then she's going to put her hands on her hips, and then she's going to arch back. Good. So what we're really working on is bringing that hip into extension, working on improving that hip joint movement, but then also working on stretching out that front of the hip and potentially that front of the thigh area. Good. And then you would end up alternating sides. So it ends up being back arch with leg back. And it just ends up working on improving that joint movement, improving hip extension, which tends to be affected or decreased with people that have hip pain. And then we also end up stretching the front of the hip and that thigh area as well. Looking at sets, reps, time, and intensity. Sets, 1, repetitions, I would end up doing 2 on each side, just alternating back and forth. Looking at the time, this one ends up being like 5 to 10 second hold that you end up doing. Intensity ends up being light. You end up looking for a light stretch. So there you go. Give those 3 exercises a go. They end up being the best hip pain exercises to do. Now, if you want some of my other best tips and tricks when it relates to hip pain, relieving hip pain, what I recommend for you to do is click right here. I have a brand new free report called 5 Tricks to Fight Hip Pain and Tightness. Just click right here. Let me know where to send that brand new free report, and I'll send you that brand new free report right away. Now, if you're watching this on a mobile device, tablet, smartphone, head down below in the description and click the first link, which will end up being exercisesforinjuries.com/hips. Let me know where to send that report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, leave it down below in the comment section. And then lastly, hit subscribe in order to get future pain relieving videos.